Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today, guess what? The trailer for the brand new Masters of the Universe series that's going to be coming to Netflix has dropped. And look, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much already predicted what the reaction to this is going to be. And most people, you could say, are split down the middle. They don't know how to feel about this. Me personally, honestly, after the whole thing with Revelation, I'm so goddamn tired. I don't have it in me to even get upset anymore. And it's not just Master of the Universe Revelation. This is pretty much it's Master of the Universe Revelation coupled with what happened in Star Wars, coupled with what happens in pretty much every franchise that we've seen up until this point, all get completely ruined. Add Thundercats on top of it. It's so boring up until this point. It's so boring that you honestly I'll speak for myself. I won't presume to speak for someone else. I'm so tired. I'm tired of franchises being brought back and just completely bastardized. They look almost nothing like what they originally are. It's just at this point you're numb to it. You're completely numb to it. At this point you kind of expect it, which is honestly kind of sad. I think that's the really sad part about this is you're numb to it. It's at this point, if it happens, you're not shocked anymore. You're just you look at it and go, yep, yeah, I pretty much expected this. It's gotten to the point where if they actually do stay true to the source material, that's when you're surprised. And honestly, that's not supposed to be the case, but it is what it is. So they released the trailer, and I'm not gonna play it because you know how Netflix is when it comes to, copyright. So the first character we see in this trailer, and by the way, this is supposed to be Eternia, by the way. So yeah, already. And you know what? I will say objectively, just from an artistic standpoint, this does look good. I will say this does look nice. But if this is supposed to be Eternia, then yeah. So the first character we see is this character, and by the way, I'll tell you who this character is supposed to be in a little bit. And like I said, you won't be shocked. You won't be shocked at who this character is. So we see this character. She's using some spell to find something. She finds this. Assuming this is the Sword of Power, she gets a message telling her to take it to a champion, or excuse me, take it to a champion, and that's when it makes it to. This is supposed to be Adam, by the way, and he sees these runes or whatever, and he recites it. Says, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power." You know the chant, and then he turns into He-Man. And then when he does, you see Castle Grayskull pop up out of the ground, and yeah, so that's He-Man, and that's the group that we see. I'll get to who these characters are, and once you hear who they are, you're either gonna be mad or you're like me, and you won't be shocked by it in any way, shape, or form. So we see He-Man, and we get to see him interact with these. I'm assuming this is the sorceress, and this is Keldor, by the way. This is Keldor. This is Skeletor. So at least they have that. I will admit this is what Skeletor looks like. The design's okay, I'll admit. And we get to see them. They're attacked, I guess, by these monsters, and we see some more interactions between the group. And this guy says Master of Technology, Master of Magic, Master of Demolition, Master of the Wild, or whatever. And this says Master of Demolition, by the way. And then they go on to say, we have the power. And then I think I'll be safe if I play this. Let me just mute the volume so I don't get. And then we get these transformations where they all become the Power Rangers. And then they say, by the power of Grayskull, we have the power. And then they all transform. So it's we have the power. It's not I have the power. It's we have the power. So He-Man isn't even necessarily He-Man, because, of course, because why stay true to the source material? Why would you do that? And you can see them again. I'm assuming this is the sorceress. This is Adam. I'm sure you've probably figured out this is probably Cringer. I'll get to who these two in a second, although I'm pretty sure most of you probably already guessed who they are. So we get to see them fighting, and we get to see some new characters. And again, we'll get to all of these characters. This is Skeletor. His voice sounds awful, by the way. I guess that's Trapjaw. Now, one thing I will say, just from an animation standpoint, you know, the actual movement, a lot of people, when they say uh, animation, I find out they usually mean art style, and when they say the art style is bad, yeah, I can see that. It's not my personal favorite, though I will say it's better than the She-Ra reboot. But just from an animation standpoint, it does look good from an animation, as in the actual movement. It looks pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, it looks okay from an animation standpoint. And then we get to see a battle between He-Man and Skeletor, and we get to see them. They move through some barrier, or whatever. You get to see the humor, which I won't play it, but just know it's the typical modern humor. It depends on who you ask, because you know humor is subjective. I didn't think it was pretty funny, and yeah, and it's coming on September 16th, so that's when you have to look forward to. So yeah, that's the trailer, and like I said, I'm not surprised anymore. It's honestly, I'm kind of expecting it. So we have this is from Deadline, where they talk about the actual trailer in and of itself, and we have the voice cast. We have the voice cast. So let's find out who's playing, shall we? Who's playing these characters? So David Kaye is playing Battle Cat. Greg Griffin is playing Evil-lyn. Anthony Del Rio is playing Duncan Man-at-Arms. Kimberly Brooks is playing Tila and the Sorceress, apparently. Trevor Duvall is Beastman. Judy Alice Lee is... Yep. Yeah, they gender swapped Ram Man, because of course they did. Roger Craig Smith is playing Trapjaw. Fred, I don't know I never know how to pronounce that last name, is playing King Randor, so at least he's there. Ben Diskin is playing Skeletor, good for him. Tom Kenny is playing Orko. Max Mitchell is playing Kitty. I don't know who the fuck that's supposed to be. Max Stubbington is playing a young Adam. Let's find out who's working on this show. David is executive producing with Frederick Soley from Revelation. Adam Bonnet, also from Revelation. Christopher Keenan, also from Revelation. Jeff Matsuda from The Batman, a show that I think is kind of underrated. And Tia Mentia, a show that I did like, is the co-executive producer. Susan Corbin from Revelation will serve as a producer. Brian Q. Miller from Arrow, Smallville, Sleepy Hollow. Arrow, a show that shit the bed. Smallville, that started out interesting, kind of fell off for me towards the later part of the show, if I'm being honest. Once Clark Kent moved to Metropolis, I think the show kind of dipped in quality for me personally. Sleepy Hollow, loved the first season. Second season started off okay and ended kind of terribly, if I'm being honest. Wasn't a big fan of the ending. Apparently they're going to be the story editor, and the writers are Heath Corson, Amanda Diebert, Keely McDonald, Peter Binswanger, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Leela Scott, Matt Deerdeck, I think, whatever, Julie Benson, and Shauna Benson. And it's going to be produced by Mattel. Oh boy. And the animation is going to be done by House of Cool, who did Troll Hunters, a show that I did like, and CGCG, who did the Clone Wars. So hey, two shows that I really liked. So at least from an animation perspective, it might be good, but from a story perspective, it's, again, it barely has anything from He-Man. It feels like something that's He-Man in name only. Although one thing that I will give it credit for is at least it's a reboot. At least it's not trying to bill itself as a sequel. You know, same thing that Revelation did, and then that turned out to be a bait and switch. So that's who's working on it. So let's look at some images. So remember when I said I was going to tell you who those characters were? Let me see if I can find the image. So this is Ram Man. They gender swapped Ram Man, and they actually called her Ram Mam. This is not a joke. This is real. This is Ram Man. And this is Duncan, Man-at-Arms. sounds like a prepubescent little shit that you just want to punt over a fence. That's Man-at-Arms, who looks like Samus from Metroid. You know, one thing I will give him credit for is at least He-Man kind of looks like He-Man. At least Battle Cat looks cool. I will give them that. At least they kept that. And you want to know who this is? Let me see if I... this is a better look at the character. This is Teela. At least I think. This is Teela. So basically another red-headed character that got sacrificed on the altar of melanin. Congratulations, Hollywood. You just claimed another redhead. You know what? Just add it to the list. Add it to the list of redheads that got sacrificed to the altar of melanin. Congratulations. So, and by the way, do you think it's a coincidence that she's the one leading? Because of course. We get a closer look at the Skeletor's crew. There's Trapjaw. There's Skeletor himself. That's evil-lyn, and I think that's Beastman. And you'll see they have their weapons. So I don't know if this is from the beginning or later. I don't know how many episodes the show's going to have. Presumably it's going to be the typical Netflix 10 or 13 episodes, or maybe even 8. I don't know if this happens in the end or at the beginning, but whatever. There's a better look at Tia. So yeah, she gets some of the power because of course. And here we have Teela pretending like she's in Naruto for some reason. There's Ram Mam again. There's Man-at-Arms, Cringer. There's another look at them because why not? And this is a better look at evil-lyn. So yeah, there we go. Our first look at this new show, and again, I don't even have it in me to be mad anymore. You know what? At one point I was thinking of disliking the video, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Although look at it, it's been ratioed to hell, and surprisingly they turned off the comments because of course they did. Well, they do have it set as for kids, so I think that's why. Because if you don't know, YouTube has this whole thing where if your video is set as for kids, then they turn off the comment section themselves. I don't know if that's the reason why they did that, or if it's because the show in and of itself is aimed at kids. That's why. So, yeah. Again, like I said, I don't have it in me to be mad, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. If you want me to watch it, I will, just to give you my thoughts on it. And if it's good, I'll say it's good. If it's not, then I'll say it's not. With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Remember to do the usual YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.